They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, it's Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are on the board first on the road here in L.A. So many times you think of these tight ends catching the ball already in the end zone. But today's tight end, they can run after the catch, too, to score.
They are big. They're strong, but they're extremely athletic, and they can surprise the heck out of you when they get the ball in their hands and they're running away from the defense.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jet sweep to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Williams, the ball carrier, brought down at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Calais. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Cup. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
50-50.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
19-yard line.
offense set to get this drive underway. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Lance finding Debo there for the Niner first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now the number 8 rusher in the NFL last season, it's Elijah Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Lance. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here we go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Ready.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Dorsett. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are coming off the game last week, which a very interesting game. And Charles, ultimately, it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
Play action. Stafford. And incomplete on the deep ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the handoff, running left is Akers. And he's got some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have moved out in front. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. the touchdown. It's Gay to kick this one away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
Gets around him, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Lance now on first down.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
The Lance going to throw. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go, set.
Lance looks to throw again.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on third down, Stafford going up top for Kupp. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the 49ers will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. That ball needs...
And this is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because When he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
On second down, McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, 49ers.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
They give up the middle to Akers.
Little power on the move that time, but still tackled shy of the 20. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. But remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Okay,
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, the offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll. Looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, 49ers.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing on second and long. Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Third and long. It's Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On fourth down, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Niners take over in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's go now.
Lance going to try and throw on third down here. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
Big A-Shawn Robinson has made a career of this. Another tackle for loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Lance. And he's He's going to be taken down here. A sack back into 32. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season.
What we would consider generational for most players, we simply take for granted at this point with Aaron Donald. 7th straight All-Pro season last year, complete with 12.5 sacks and a career high in tackles.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Leonard Floyd's career has found new life in Los Angeles with more sacks in 2 seasons there than in 4 years prior with Chicago. 9.5 in 2021 for the Super Bowl champs.
The kick by Gold is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play.
They run with Calais.
And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And able to find Higbee. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Rams 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On the give, this is Akers.
The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 42.
Stafford to his #1 guy, Kupp, for a Los Angeles 1st. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now it's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now back to throw.
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Niners are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane. And
I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. That's complete left side to Gray. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Ready.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Here we go.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw, it's Lance. Escaping the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 21. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's 49er football here as we get your reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now a play fake. Lance. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run the full playbook no matter who's on the field.
The kick by Gold is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses? So glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
Man, what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it. Still doing it at a high level. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. Now the Niners get there and bring him down.
Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Real right, 22. Hey. 59. 0.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
They'll take over first down 2.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. Oh, good move. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
A gain of 12.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Niners,
they run their mark to 6-2 on the year.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.